Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the journalistdj.com. If you follow this platform, then you'll know that, we had a chat with him. I think it was during COVID. Yeah, you had a chat with him, But for those that don't know, man, he is a very talented individual. He's doing amazing things. He made us drive all the way to Pretoria for his party. But you know what? Enough talking. I'm going to let him do the talking. Man, first of all, introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
So my name is Ginelio. I'm a DJ and producer, and this is my first event. So I hope it's been a good one for everyone that's attended.
Look, man, I understand that you had to win a competition to host this thing. You had to collaborate with Converse, which is a big thing, a big campaign. Tell me about that experience.
So it's actually crazy because at the beginning, I remember getting the notification saying, you can apply for funding from Converse. And I was like, okay, what are the chances that they're going to do a music festival? So I was like, no, I don't think so. So I left it a few days and I called my mom like on the second last day of entries because they kept reminding us. And I said to her, like, what do you think? You think like this is something that they'll do? And she just said to me, just do it, because even if they say no, at least you can say you tried. So when it came, like, it took months before we knew, who would get the funding, and like 3-4 months. So this application was last year, and then like a couple months later this year, I heard that I'd got it. I was like, the first person I called was my mom, and I was like, it's actually happened. So luckily I listened to her, because otherwise we wouldn't be here right now.
Shout out to your mom, man. I remember from the last interview that I did with you, on your track Shadow Mind. She's the vocalist. Tell us about that, for those that don't know the story.
So one of my first EPs was called Shadow Mind on Round Robin. This is, I think, 2019. And the main track, Shadow Mind, which is, I think, where, I started to get a bit more popular from there, was actually, I had the beat, I had the track, and then my mom came into the studio and she was just like, something's missing. I think you need a vocal. And I was like, I don't know. Well, what we're going to do? We're going to get a vocal. And she said, no, let's just try sing ourselves. So I kept trying, she kept trying. And eventually we got with the vocal that's on Shadow Mind now. And what you hear is actually my mom on the vocal. So it worked out in the end.
Man, I love that story. It's so amazing. Now tell me about the Pretoria scene. You're from Pretoria, right? And Pretoria is like, a city that's known for house music, deep house, amapiano, and it's just like there's a whole culture here. For those that don't know, just shed light on like the music culture of Pretoria. How is it like for someone that has never been here before?
I feel like in Pretoria you can find any genre, any genre you can think of. It's and I feel like everyone always says, especially when I was younger, people would always go to Joburg to go to parties. But I feel like Pretoria's time is coming. It's coming strong, and like I say, anything you want, you can find it in Pretoria. So if you like techno, if you like Afro, if you like amapiano, hip hop, there's an event. Even tonight, as I'm speaking, there's probably an event for each of those genres happening right now. So you can really find anything you want here, and I think that's good, because we need to start, blending these different crowds together, is what I think. Because everyone that's like, oh, I only listen to this or I only listen to that, I feel like that needs to end. It needs to be, a lineup with multiple genres, and everyone just comes together and enjoys the music. Not, oh, I only listen to hip hop or I only listen to Afro. It needs to just, everyone come together. That's what I would like to do eventually.
Yeah, man, I love Pretoria. They also have a new song called Bakari. Okay, it's not new, but it's doing its thing. But anyway, back to the interview. You did something with Converse. I think it's a song, you collaborated with some other artists. Tell me about that.
So Converse has like these trips for their all-stars. So I'm one of the all-stars. Like they have I think there's 60 or so in South Africa, like Cape Town, Johannesburg. And then they have like trips overseas now and then where they'll take, so the last few have been music mainly. So that's why I got to go. And we went to Brazil, and then we have like panel talks with like their artists, like the one guy Marcelo D2. He's pretty popular because he has like a track on the Fast and Furious soundtrack. That's where he blew up. And we got to speak to him and hear from him. And then after that, we go into studio and we make our own tracks inspired by the guys that we've gotten to listen to. And I worked with people from Brazil, people from Australia, people from Mexico. So our group of 6, we had a bunch of cultures together, a bunch of different countries, and we got to make something from there, and it was really fun actually.
Yeah, man, this is so exciting. And you're so young, bro. You know, you're so young. You're already doing like international collabs, collaborating with brands, releasing your music. So I want to know your brand, you know, projecting like how you want to move. Like, how do you see yourself moving forward as a brand, as a DJ, as someone from SA doing music?
My goal ultimately would be obviously to not just, you know, become big in South Africa, but to be international would be my goal, I'd say. And then furthermore, to keep doing COTERIE and hopefully eventually, you know, create a bridge between South Africa and the rest of the world. I feel like many guys are already doing that, but I'd like to be another one, because I feel like, I mean, I was overseas like a few months ago, and the DJs, I mean, they're all playing the same thing. And you come to South Africa and you see our DJs. We've got so many guys that could be playing those big stages 20 times better than the guys they have. So I feel like we need to be taking more people overseas, that's for sure, and just showing them what we can do.
I was going to say, interesting name, COTERIE, you know, what is it all about? What inspired you?
So actually, COTERIE is a synonym for community. So it's bringing people together with a common interest. So that was the goal of the festival from the beginning. And I was like, you know, what's the easiest way to come up with the name? So I just said community, synonym, looked through, and I saw this one, and I was like, oh, that works. And it's turned into its own thing. I think it fits perfectly, to be honest.
Okay, man, dope. So tell me now about the music, you know. What are you working on now? You know, what do you plan on releasing? And yeah.
Right now, I'd say it's probably like 1 track a week. Obviously, I don't mix and master all of them, because I mean, not all tracks are the one. You know what I mean? But I don't know. My catalog now is a massive catalog. I'm just, you know, trying to get that onto labels. I feel like they're the hardest to deal with, and you know, I feel like people always say do your own releases, but you know, it gives you exposure to an audience that you can't reach. Because now if I release my own music, the same people that know me now will listen to that music. So getting onto a label, I get to grow, their listeners hear me, and the current people. So the goal now is just getting signed to labels.
Okay, no, dope, man. Lastly, is there anything that I might have missed that you just want to put out there to the world, man?
I don't think there's anything, but hopefully we'll be watching this in a few years and COTERIE will be the next thing. Let's hope so.
Oh yeah. Ladies and gents, you saw it here on the journalistdj.com. You know, we're all about dance culture. And yeah, you know, it's history, bro. You're making history, so well done, man.
Thank you.
And we out.